how to get over those commitment issues. All you need to know is the steps. And with understanding, you can make a big difference in your life. Watch closely. Have you ever been in a place in your life where, you just didn't want to make a commitment there? You know, you're just unsure. You're kind of in, but you're not. Oh, but wait, what about your friend who won't really make a good, clear decision, won't make a commitment? But wait, what about that person you're dating? Wow, that can drive you nuts. So here it is. It could be us, them, the situation, but how to get over these commitment issues, right? Like what is going on? How come people get so gummed up and won't make commitments? Well, it actually makes sense. There's no real mystery behind this, but I'm going to train you on what to look for here and what you can do to be able to help improve your own level of commitment and also help others so that they can be better at their commitment, either to the relationship or to the project or to the team or to the family. But when we're not doing very well with commitments, we can cause some problems. And you probably, I think the reason why you clicked on this video is because you're facing some challenges right now, either personally or with somebody else who's doing this. So let's check this out. The first reason why somebody's going to struggle with commitment is because there's an unknown. If I say I'm going to do this, what's going to happen? And because there's an unknown, what do people normally do? They turn it into some scary thing and all these directions that it could go, and it just gets scary to them. So to avoid the whole possibility of being in a scary situation or a situation they don't know how to handle, they just don't commit. They don't commit to the relationship, they don't commit to the team, they don't commit to their part, and they won't fulfill their part. But it's really a fear-based because of the unknown. So here's something to think about. What if, when you're talking to this individual, what if you could help them see the bigger picture? What if you could help them imagine the possibilities in a positive direction? You see, us as communicators, what we do sometimes is we sabotage the level of commitment of others is because we don't explain it well enough. We only give a small detail and then expect people just to jump in. No way. They're going to see the unknown. They're going to experience the fear-based experience, and they're just going to back out, not participate, not even be in on it. So help the person have a vision of where it is you're going. Another way is to turn the wandering or wondering into deciding. Now, how do you do this? How do you change this into where they can actually make a decision? That comes from options. If we, instead of us wanting somebody to just commit to one thing, and we're only presenting one thing, it's wise to be able to present options to a person. Would you like to do this or this? That way they have an option of committing to this or this, because if you only present one option, then they're either out or they're in. And if it's unknown, they're out. So let's pretend like let's say you have kids and you're saying, hey kids, I really need you to really tell me right now that you're really gonna clean your rooms and really do all your chores. Well, you're gonna see your kids kind of waffle back and forth like, and then here's another way to approach it. Hey kids, would you like to do your chores and work on chores for 6 hours? Or would you like to do your chores and work on it for only an hour and a half? See, now you gave them an option, 6 hours or an hour and a half. They would go, oh, I'll do the hour and a half. See, right there, just giving them an option helps them commit to what is that they're willing to do, because it's not an in or out, it's a which one. So that can help when offering the options or the choices in front of an individual. Now, the mind, when it doesn't want to commit to something or be committed, it has a lot of what-if scenarios. And so when the person you're working with doesn't, seem to want to make a decision, what you can do is you can just open up the conversation and say to the individual, okay, tell me what your what-if scenarios are. What are you thinking? If you do this, what do you think will happen? And what's the different storylines that you're thinking of? So an uncommitted a person has different storylines that say, but what if this? But what if this? But what if this? And there's at least 3 or 4 of those stories swirling around in their head. So as a dad, a husband, a friend, a mentor, a business owner, I've learned that when somebody's hesitating and they're not making a decision, I know they have what if stories. And so I'm going to open it up and go, okay, tell me what your what if concerns are. And then they realize I understand where they're at. And you can do this with children, anybody. You can do this with anybody. But help them open up their what if stories so you can answer questions and clarify. It's just another way that they have the unknowns going on inside their mind. But what if stories will cause a person to be in that fear-based place too. And then they won't make a decision. Next one, help the person make smaller decisions. Or if it's you and you're tough, it's difficult for you to make decisions and commitments where you're going, well then start out with small decisions. Don't just go to the big decision. I had a woman talk to me and she said, Kirk, how do I get this guy to marry me? He won't commit to marriage. And I was like, whoa, hold on. Do you commit to any small stuff first? And she goes, no, as soon as I met him, I started talking marriage with him. I was like, wow, you got to slow that way down. Maybe commit that you're going to go on a date. Commit that you're going to spend some more time. Commit that you're going to meet each other's families. Commit. Just start out with smaller steps. When it's too big of a decision, no wonder people back out and they don't get in on this and make a commitment. So make smaller decisions. Now, if you have a tough time making commitments, when you wake up in the morning, make small choices in the morning. I'm going to eat scrambled eggs for breakfast, and then you go do it. I'm going to be ready by 8 o'clock, and then you go do it. I'm going to listen to some music, and then you go do it. When you make a choice and you fulfill that choice, you're building up your momentum of being committed to your choice. And you can notice that you're okay. That all these small decisions, you can make choices and it works. That builds up the confidence and builds up the self-esteem there that you can, if you can do the small things, you can do a little bit bigger things. Sometimes we need evidence that we can do this and not the whole entire world falls apart on us. Now, another reason why a person would not be committed and have commitment issues is because of past mishaps. And sometimes those past mishaps are unfinished, meaning that they're still on our mind, we still feel bad for them, we're still maybe paying the price from that experience, and we don't want to repeat that story. And so what you can do to help iron out and kind of put together those past mishaps so that they can finally just come to rest inside your mind is to journal about those stories. Journal about your thoughts and feelings of what happened. And here's the secret behind the journaling part. Write down the lessons learned. If we can't solve a past story, an option to be able to help calm that story down is to find lessons learned from it. Because if we can learn from the lessons of what happened, then we actually found value going through that experience. And then the mind will actually calm the story down and file it away. That way it's not in our thoughts distracting us from the commitments we can make right now in our life and moving forward. And so a journaling process to write down the stories and then find the lessons learned. It's a great way that just helps calm everything down. It's super nice to do that for yourself and for the people that you know who are struggling with this. So for you, moving forward, a great way to build the power of being fully committed to whatever you choose to do is to have a better story about who you are. Literally, where are you going? What are you building? What do you want to create? Like, who are you? What kind of characteristics do you have? How do you treat people? How do you love people? How do you forgive people? Like, who are you in the future? When we lose sight of who we can become, it's tough to make decisions. But if we could open up a story about what we want to become and what we wish we could be, then it actually helps us be more clear about making decisions and making commitments. So I think this last one here about writing a story may be the part that's going to help unlock you or your friend But if we don't have a story of ourselves and seeing how we're gonna be and the kind of things we'd like to do, we're gonna back out. It's gonna be the unknown. And when it's the unknown, we get nervous and scared and worried about it. And then we don't make decisions and we're not committed to what we're doing, and you get the rest of the story. So along this way of learning these steps here, that takes some work. And as you go to do the work, just know that everything I'm training you with has been tried and tested, and it works. But it doesn't work if you don't do it. It works if you do it. And in this experience of, when it comes to commitment issues, it can cause a lot of damage in relationships and really create some loss of opportunity. And so don't let this just sit there in the back of your mind and just be there and just let it just mess up parts of your life. Do something about it. And if we can help, with any further education, here at 3 Key Elements, we would love to support you and be able to serve you. We've got some great live courses here in Salt Lake City. And also we got great YouTube videos. Subscribe to what we're doing here so you can get the rest of what we're sending you, which is gonna just be an ongoing story of training for you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll notice that these topics are real and there's great timing and it helps you have better understanding. Well, from myself, Kirk Duncan, and our 3 Key Elements family, I want you to know that as you are committed in where you're going in your life and you can make decisions, wow, you are in charge of your lifestyle. And that's powerful.